See that cool shirt there? You like it? Yeah? Well, guess what? You can't have it, because it's mine. Hey everyone, this is Brent, and today I'm going to be talking about the previous console generation, this current one, and the one that might be coming up really soon. I just wanted to say that I came off the GameCube originally, so that's why I wanted the Wii to begin with. I think I had that for maybe it was like a year or two before I got the PlayStation 3. And it's funny because I didn't really expect to enjoy the PlayStation 3 that much. It was one of those things that I would make fun of for being $600 and all those other things was wrong with it, even though every console that comes out sucks at first. And then, of course, just gets better and better as time goes on. If it's successful, gets good, third-party support. And anyways, the Wii was fun at first. I mean, I really enjoyed something fresh and something new. I thought this was going to be something cool, maybe revolutionary, maybe exciting. I didn't know what to expect. I just knew that it looked really interesting and really cool. But it turns out I just am more of a classic gamer, and I enjoy something that involves using a controller as like the primary input. Not this, pointing at the screen, and I mean, I don't mind using a screen, like, pointing or touching, like if I'm moving a board game piece, but if I'm just going to play regular games like aiming and shooting and running and jumping, I just rather not rely on motion gimmicks and use button gimmicks, or whatever you want to call them. Hey, look, buttons. Remember these? Well, your kids aren't going to remember them, that's for sure. And I thought it was really funny to kind of look at the other competition and see how they all just kind of mimicked each other with certain things. Like you had the 360 mimicking the Wii with the avatars or whatever, the Miis. And then they had the everybody copying the motion sensing with the Wii. Although the 360 did more kind of take like a PlayStation Eye Sony approach by using a camera. Only they pretty much amplified it to, a much greater extreme. And the PlayStation still sort of stuck to their guns with the camera and decided to kind of use a little Wii remote thing to go along with it. I don't know. I've played demos of both of them at like kiosks at the store, and both the Kinect and the Move were just sort of, they didn't really work that well. I've never actually owned them, so I'm not going to go like on a full review about them or anything like that. But what I can say is that I liked the Wii best in that category. Hey baby, want to come play with my Wii? Yeah, hey, I got a black one. No, really, it's black. Hello? And so in the end, it just sort of surprised me because at first I didn't really care much for Sony in the first two generations, with the PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 2. But with the PlayStation 3, it was sort of like picking out a lesser of two evils, because, I mean, there were things I didn't like about both the 360 and the PS3, but as soon as that PS3 price went down, I was like looking at all the games and exclusives that the PS3 had and everything, and I decided that I would like to start off with the PS3. I mean, you're going to have to get every single console to get all the good exclusives anyways, and, I couldn't afford every single console, so, the Xbox is going to have to wait for me, so I'm not going to talk too much about the Xbox here. What I will say about the PlayStation 3, though, is... Yeah! So shiny. Aside from, of course, the PlayStation Move, it gave me pretty much everything I wanted out of this console generation. I mean, no console's perfect. I could sit here and make a huge laundry list of complaints about just about every single console I've ever owned, no matter what console it is. Even consoles I don't own, I could still make a big list out of things that I don't like about it. But I'm going to try and cut short the complaining for a little bit and just basically talk about the things that I have noticed that were kind of funny. Like people trying to push the whole HD envelope, and of course, a lot of games run in 720p or less instead of that whole 1080p thing that they keep pushing. Dude, they upscaled Sonic the Hedgehog 1 to HD. Yeah, look at that. Look at that, it's in HD. These silly kids wouldn't know HD if it bit them in the... Dude, I swear to God this is in HD. Why am I in a bathroom? And it might just be my imagination, but I feel like a lot of developers in this generation kind of don't really, I mean, they're still trying to grasp, this new technology, because they're always, pushing, for new, new technology and new ways of making the graphics look better and the online capabilities broader and making them more intriguing and appealing. It's funny to see, kids going back and forth complaining and arguing about, which one's better, this, that, and the other. And I'm one of those people who will just sit around and, watch people argue about things. Then you got these people who get on YouTube. Like, anyone's going to watch the videos and listen to them talk about, you know, video game consoles and stuff like that. Like, who in the world is going to watch those videos? Wait a minute. So now I'm just left to wonder if this whole next console generation is going to be kind of the same thing. You know, you got the 3DS, which is, you know, already going to be, you know, obviously less powerful than, say, the PlayStation Vita, and then you've got the whole, you know, Wii U coming out, or whatever they want to call it. I still think they should change the name of that thing, like, fast. But, I mean, that's just going to be about as powerful as the current generation of consoles we have now, and then we're going to have even more powerful consoles probably from the 360, coming from the Xbox and the PlayStation. So, I don't know what's going to come of that, but I think it's going to be fun to sit back and watch everything go by. And the funny thing about time going by, as it goes by, I realize how old I'm getting. I'm only like, what, almost 23 now? But, I mean, I still hear kids saying, oh yeah, when I was a little kid back with the Dreamcast and the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox, and I'm just thinking, wait a minute, wasn't that just yesterday that those things were released? And then I look at the calendar and I'm like, it's 2012 already? Seriously? Wow. Like, I'm getting old. I mean, people are going to be like, oh, look, you know, we're playing without, you know, any controller or anything like that, and I'm going to be sit there like an old person, like, I don't need your fancy technology. I'm sitting here playing mother flipping Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And to think that these kids are going to be making the games that I'm going to be enjoying pretty soon, it can be scary, but, you know, I mean, I'm always going to have my old games to play, right? Right? I mean, I'm going to have tangible copies of them to play, you know, instead of this stuff that you have to download and, you know, it's not really yours, you're just licensed to play it, unless, of course, you know, you trade your system in, or you go through some legal loophole where you transfer it to a system, but only a few at once, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, things just get more confusing as technology gets better. So, anyways, thanks for listening to this rant, or whatever you want to call it. And I guess I'll see you next time I have something to talk about, or do. Whoa, it's coming right at me!